All right, let's dive in. One of the most legendary fighting games ever made is making its way back to the big screen. So in this explainer, we're going to break down everything we know about the new Street Fighter: The World Warrior movie.
So what's the vibe they're going for?
Well, it's something very specific. A classic 90s martial arts blockbuster. You know what that means? Think practical effects, bone-crunching choreography, and that wild, over-the-top energy that made the original game an absolute phenomenon around the world.
And to really get it, you've got to transport yourself back to the golden age of arcades. The whole movie is tapping into that powerful nostalgia. You know, the glow of the screen, the sound of joysticks clicking away, and of course, that thrill when you hear, "Here comes a new challenger." It's not just a time period, it's the very soul of the Street Fighter experience.
Now, at the very heart of this thing, we've got two martial arts legends. And the whole story really kicks off when they get pulled back into the world of fighting, which forces them to finally deal with their complicated past.
So on one side, you have Ryu. He's that disciplined, wandering warrior who is completely dedicated to his craft. And on the other, Ken Masters, his flashy, kinda arrogant, and yeah, estranged best friend. They're living totally separate lives until the mysterious Chun-Li shows up with a mission that means they have no choice but to reunite.
And what is that mission, you ask? Well, it leads them straight to the ultimate proving ground, the World Warrior Tournament. And listen, this is not just any competition. This is a global showdown. We're talking about the planet's greatest fighters all gathering in one place to see who is truly the best.
The scale of this thing is just huge. This isn't some simple one-on-one deal. Ryu and Ken have to run an absolute gauntlet, facing off against a massive roster of all the iconic fighters you know from the games. And you better believe each one is bringing their signature, deadly techniques to the big screen.
But here's where it gets interesting. Right when our heroes are starting to get into the flow of the tournament, they realize something is very, very wrong. This competition is way more than just a contest of skill. There's a really dark secret hiding just beneath the surface.
And this is the central conspiracy, the big twist. To the public, the World Warrior Tournament looks like this amazing spectacle of honor and glory. But the hidden truth? It's a sinister front. It's actually a recruitment drive for a super powerful and incredibly dangerous criminal organization.
And that organization is, of course, Shadaloo. Now, this isn't some small-time gang. We're talking about a shadowy, global crime syndicate. And the one pulling all the strings? It's ruthless, power-hungry leader, the one and only Bison. He is the true final boss of this entire operation.
Okay, so that reveal basically throws us straight into the final act. Ryu and Ken now know that just winning the tournament isn't the real goal anymore. They've been played. And to actually succeed, they've got to fight their way through multiple, very dangerous layers of this whole conspiracy.
But before they can even think about taking on Shadaloo, they have to take on themselves. The insane pressure of the tournament forces them to confront their own personal demons and, probably more importantly, the bad blood between them that drove them apart in the first place.
And you knew it was coming, right? Inevitably, the tournament pits them against each other. Now, whether that's by chance or by Bison's direct manipulation, who knows? But the two estranged best friends are forced to fight. And this isn't just about who's stronger. It's a battle over their different beliefs, their friendship, their whole shared history.
But let's say they somehow survive that, and they settle their differences. The final test is still waiting. Their true mission becomes crystal clear. This isn't about winning a trophy, it's about dismantling an entire global criminal empire and stopping Bison for good.
So it all builds to this one final question. In a tournament that's stacked with legendary fighters that's secretly being run by a global crime syndicate and is complicated by a broken friendship, when these legends finally collide, who is going to be the last one standing? Whatever the answer is, it's going to define the next chapter of the Street Fighter legacy.